Today I'd like to tell you the story of a man named Dawud Assad. Dawud was born in December of 1931 in Deir Yassin, Palestine. If you've never heard of Deir Yassin, it was a Palestinian village near Jerusalem that became the site of a massacre on April 9th, 1948, when Zionist terrorist groups, the Irgun and Lahai, attacked and killed nearly 200 Palestinian men, women, and children. The event sent shockwaves through every Palestinian, leading to Jewish Zionists creating a terror campaign and warning Palestinians that they'd be next if they stayed, contributing to the violent forced displacement of other Palestinian villages. In 1948, after being told by his mother that his village was being invaded, a then 16-year-old Dawud saw his village on fire and quickly stationed himself on the rooftop of a home in Deir Yassin with a rifle. He and his uncle did their best to protect their village, shooting at the invading terrorists as they attempted to enter the village and giving their community time to escape before Zionists fully took over. It's noted that had Dawud and his uncle not been stationed on the roof fighting back, that Zionists would have murdered even more Palestinians on that day. While resisting, Dawud lost his uncle Radwan, who was shot at point blank 8 times. He lost his grandmother and his 2-year-old brother Ahmad, who his grandmother was holding while she was killed. Ahmad ended up falling out of her arms and hit his head on the concrete and died. In addition to his uncle, grandmother, and baby brother, Dawud lost another 24 family members that day, and Zionist gangs took Dawud's 6-year-old sister and pregnant mother hostage. Had it not been for the massacre of Deir Yassin, Israel would not exist today, and during the 1948 Nakba, Zionist terrorists took over 78% of historic Palestine. After becoming a refugee, Dawud eventually made his way to the United States in 1951, where he earned a Bachelor's of Science degree in Mechanical Engineering and a Master's of Science in Industrial Management. He also earned an honorary doctoral degree. Dawud became a founding member of the World Council of Mosques, headquartered in Mecca, Saudi Arabia, as well as president of the local Council of Mosques in the United States. He became the president of the Islamic Service Organization in New Jersey, as well as a founding member of the Islamic Society of Central Jersey, where he served as the chairman of the board for many years. Dawud authored the book Palestine Rising in English in 2012, which has since been translated into Arabic, Spanish, and Turkish. Dawud was part of Palestinian resistance and dedicated his life's work to building bridges and doing interfaith community building. He was a piece of Palestinian history, but he was also my husband's uncle. And he was my buddy, who we sadly lost today. I had the honor of Khalo Dawud referring to me as his publicist, especially around the commemoration of the Nakba every year when he'd eagerly help me fulfill media requests. It was one of the greatest honors of my life to have him as a friend and to help him share his story with the world. Something that our Nakba survivors rarely got to do until recently. I'm going to leave you with some recent videos of Khalo sharing bits of his own story, but before I do that, Khalo Dawud's family has been left with a significant amount of medical expenses and has started a GoFundMe that I'll link in my bio. However you can support, whether it's sharing or donating, I know that our family would be so grateful. Allah yarhamak Khalo. I love you, and I promise we'll never stop sharing your story.
And I was born on December 23rd, 1931. So I am now 91 plus years of age. And I was born in Jerusalem, but I lived all my life in a small village which is about 4.5 miles west of Jerusalem called Deir Yassin. And because of the massacre of my village, Deir Yassin, 750,000 Palestinians, they left their homelands fearing that this might happen to them. And the Zionists start terrorizing the people purposely so that they will leave their homes. But up to now, I dream about it. Sometimes, I cry, because when I remember my grandmother, I was so sad. The armor trucks of the Zionists came to attack the village. So they shot my grandmother in cold blood. My brother Omar was on her back, so he fell down. When he fell down in a concrete place. And my mother took my brother Omar in her hands like this, and she wanted to take him with her. So the man, Jewish soldier, told them, we have we have orders. Nobody can take anything from here. Either you put him down or we shoot you on him, just like that. So my mother, listen to this. My mother at that time, she had this sadness in herself till she passed away. So of course it affected our life in here, because by having your number one grandmother pass away, your brother Omar passed away, and 27 also from my relatives, like uncles, aunts, cousins, nephews. Also they did 27. So I mean, how could you feel? You feel very bad, especially the next 2 years, following the Nakba. It affected my life a lot in here. And I learned we will never surrender, because we believe we are fighting to get our land back. We rather die, all of us fighting, but we know that in the end, God will give us victory, inshallah.